Hey YouTube, welcome back to my channel. This is Canadian Retro. I've got another pickups video for you here. Pretty good haul, I think, all around recently. Nothing super cartridge based or anything like that, which is what I'm always on the lookout for, but some decent like GBA stuff, some pretty decent items overall. So pretty happy with this pickup. Let me get started on this. This is probably the biggest object I got here to show you, and that's a complete in box Wii Fit Plus. And it's not just that it's complete in box, but let me just get in here. So the box is a little bit tattered, but I don't know if you're going to be able to see this here, but it's like totally sealed and everything and wrapped inside. So like the game's in here, it's factory sealed. This thing's never been used. I think somebody just like basically opened it and that was it. So I'm basically going to use to flip this. I have no particular interest in this thing. It's just, I see on like eBay and stuff like that, these can sell for upwards of about 50 bucks like this, probably even a little bit more. So I'm hoping to sell it locally just to make a few bucks, see what happens there. Hopefully I'll be able to do that. It's not really something I don't know, like as far as like a collector goes, I don't know really how well those things do, because I'm not really sure like if people would be interested in it, but maybe for someone who's not just like a collector but they're actually interested in things like that, they might buy it. So that's really what I was looking for there. Next thing I wanted to show you here is actually a gift that I got, and this was from Longshot. Now I showed this recently in my recap for the Extra Life Challenge that he gave me this, but I thought I'd show this again, and that's just Rocket Knight Adventure, the case for it. So I was pretty pumped about this, just because I had the loose card I found not too long ago. He saw that video, knew he had an empty case, and decided to hook me up with that. So now I have a case for it. Unfortunately no manual, but that's, you know, not a big deal to me. I'm really happy just to be able to put that sort of on the shelf proper, and the artwork is absolutely phenomenally in decent shape. So really great right there. Next thing I wanted to show you is a trade that I had done with Josh from Creepleet, and this was done quite some time ago actually. I got that, well, the trade part of it went down at, I think, the Waterloo Video Game Swap. I brought him a whole bunch of stuff and some Game Gear stuff, and there's a few other things that he got from me, and in exchange for that I got Yoshi's World from him. So pretty pumped about this particular title, just because I've been on the lookout for it, but I haven't really seen it for a good deal. I don't know if this one actually comes with a manual, but you know, it's right there anyways, and the disc's in great shape. That's what really matters to me. So I'll finally get a chance to play that. I've been wanting to get this since it came out, just have never seen it, you know, out in the wild or people selling it for a reasonable price, and it doesn't seem like the price on this one's dropping down anytime soon. So he got it for a good deal, and he basically just you know, straight up traded for me sort of after the fact, because he didn't really have anything at the time that I wanted, but he knew I wanted that, so he found that for me, and that's much appreciated. Something else he gave to me, and this was during the Extra Life Challenge live stream I was doing just on last Saturday, was this right here. I told him I was interested in this, and I don't have anything he wanted necessarily for trade for this yet, so he's going to check out what I have in the future kind of thing to find out you know, what he's interested in kind of thing. But I got this from him, and it's Konami Classics Volume 2. Pretty cool right there for the Xbox 360. I always like these compilation things, and I know he's into compilations as well. But there you go right there, like pretty decent all around, nice shape, and discs in nice shape. And I'm just really interested in Russian Attack and Contra on there. They have track and field. You would really think with a disc this size that they would have been able to fit a lot more stuff into it, but apparently not. So still though, that's pretty cool right there, and Contra and Russian Attack are definitely high on my list, and I think those are arcade ports of those games, so that's pretty cool to be able to play those versions on the 360. Next thing here I wanted to show you is actually a gift that I got from one of my students. Well, really, it's a former student, but his brother, I taught the two brothers. The older brother has a 3D printer. The younger brother I still teach right now, and he brought these to work, to my work, or to the school, and gave them to me. And one is a 3D printed GBA cover, which is really cool. So thank you, Nicholas, for that, and thank you, Morpheus, for dropping it off. And I'll show you here how this goes. But I actually picked up a what do you call it, like translucent purple Game Boy Advance system, and there you go right there. Fits nicely in the back right there. It's a little snug, just because, you know, the clip's like 3D printed. It doesn't have that sort of springy action to it, but honestly it fits like perfectly. Like it's a almost like perfect replica of it. I don't know if you can see that there. I know the color is a little bit off, but honestly I did not have a cover for this one, so I was really happy to be able to get a handle on that, so that was much appreciated. And then as an added bonus, he also gave me this, which is like a Canadian Retro 3D printed thing, so he must have spent some time you know, using my what do you call it, like my logo or whatever, and kind of getting it into a 3D schematic kind of thing, and that's really cool right there. So, and it looks pretty much like spot on the replication of it, so really cool right there. So thanks a lot, Nicholas, for the time and the effort doing that. Really much appreciated. And then moving on from there, let's see here. Speaking of things in bags, you got this one right here, which I just picked up the other day, which is a Game Boy SP or Advanced SP charger, and that one there was also $3, but I think that's a pretty killer deal all around for that. And there's also something else in that bag, which I'll grab here in a second, but yeah, so that's pretty cool deal right there. I haven't tested it out, obviously I just took it out of that bag, but it looks like it's in pretty good shape. No like cuts in the wires or anything, and it's always nice to get these because honestly you see systems sometimes and they rarely ever have the you know, the power supply or the battery charger with it. And then also in the bag was some sort of Samsung headset, so I don't really know what that's all about, but whatever. That was in there as well, so that's that part of it. Let's move on here. This was kind of interesting. Actually, this was an introduction to me from someone else who is a collector as well, that sometimes I see in the shops, but we never really spoke before. And I was walking around and I had a couple of Dreamcast controllers, and one of the other people that is frequently in the Value Village pretty much like stands there for hours on end, basically waiting for stuff to come out. He doesn't collect video games, but he pretty much is a reseller of everything. But he saw me walking around with these and knew that the other guy had picked up a Dreamcast the day before and asked me about these. And then I started talking to the guy. I know it's kind of a strange way of telling the story, but I started talking to the actual collector. So now we pretty much every time we see each other, we're chatting it up. But I actually had two of these at the time. I gave him one of them. The one that he bought I think was priced for $4 or $5, but I bought this one here, which was $3.99. So pretty cool right there, and always nice to hook them up. But the reason why I gave it to him though is, you know, I found Dreamcast controllers. I have quite a few Dreamcast controllers. I basically sell Dreamcast controllers, you know, when I find them at this point, or team them up with systems and that kind of thing. And he had found a Dreamcast, I think, for the first time yesterday. I think he's had a hard time tracking one down, or not yesterday, the other day. He had a hard time tracking one down. So when he told me he got the Dreamcast the other day and it had a controller with it, I was just like, here man, have the other controller so you can have a couple of them. Basically that was the idea, but I did manage to score one for myself. So that's basically the long-winded story that probably doesn't matter a whole lot to you guys, but that's basically how that went down. Also in Italy's recently, there was a pretty big stack of games that's been sitting there for quite some time, but this one here was some sort of like new added to the pile kind of thing, and I was pretty excited to find it, and that's No More Heroes 2 Desperate Struggle. You know, I'm after these ones. I think that I don't have the first one, but I'm definitely on the lookout for the first one of this. But it's pretty cool right there, and it's totally complete and in great shape, and that one there was $5, so not too bad at all around. And then in a Value Village, I found this one here, and this one was $3.99, I believe, which I think is a pretty decent deal for this one. It's Mega Man powered up on the PSP, so it's in pretty nice shape. I thought mine was actually in a bit rougher shape than this, but it turns out it wasn't. The original case that was came with this one had like a whole bunch of, I don't know what it was, nerd cheese or something all over it. I basically just like recased this one. The artwork has a little bit of water damage to it, but otherwise like it's in pretty decent shape and everything's fine with it. And this is really cool because it's like a remake of the Mega Man games, but also in here you can like make your own levels and stuff like that. I already have it in my collection though, so that one's really going to be up for trade or sale later on kind of thing. So that's pretty cool right there. And then the next things I'll show you here all came at the same time. It was just coming out, and that seems to be my luck a little bit here sometimes, so pretty happy with what I found here. Some pretty cool handheld type stuff. The first thing here is Mario Kart DS, and that was $5, which you know, that's probably going to be a fairly easy flip kind of thing. I also picked up, and just trying to figure out which ones I don't have already. This one here is one that I do have already, so this is going to be for trade, and that's Super Mario Advance 4, Super Mario Brothers 3, so that's a pretty cool find right there. That was $5. And then this one I didn't have, so it's kind of neat. This one has like a built-in, I don't know what they call it, but it basically senses whether you're turning the GBA left or right and up and down and that kind of idea. And that's Yoshi Topsy Turvy. So really cool right there. I didn't have this one already. I didn't realize also when I've seen this before, but it has a white backing on it. So it's kind of interesting because the front is green, but still cool nonetheless. And I didn't have it in my collection. Unfortunately, you won't be able to toss and turn the Retron 5, so that one will have to be played on a handheld. And then the next one here is Sonic the Hedgehog for GBA. So I didn't even know that this existed, so that was kind of cool. When I saw that, I got pretty excited. Like I said, I didn't know it existed, so I didn't have it in the collection already, so that one's definitely going to go in. And that one was also $5. And then probably the cream of the crop, although I already have this in my collection and have sold this one in the past quite easily, and that is Pokemon Fire Red. So $5 for that. I do that all day long kind of thing. And then the last items I wanted to show you, I got these all at a Value Village. They're in a glass case. It's pretty pumped to get these because I've never really seen anything like this out in the wild before, and it's definitely gonna be great with my like video game related booklets and all that kind of stuff. Here we go. The first one here is the Game Boy Nintendo's Player's Guide. So pretty hype right there. What's great about these, although this is the Game Boy one, so it's not really in full color, but you know, like the screenshots and things are not in full color because the Game Boy is black and white, but all the pages are like high gloss and very colorful for what they are kind of thing. And it just goes through and basically gives you like a whole bunch of different games. I'm just gonna hold it up there. I'm not really gonna read it off to you guys, but you can see all the different games that are right there. So that's pretty hype, I think, for sure. That was $3.99, and this one was also $3.99 as well, which is Top Secret Passwords for Nintendo. And again, I'll show you the back of this because I'll show you like all the different ones. And like these are like the OG like magazines kind of thing that Nintendo would have published. So really cool. When you're flipping through kind of thing, you can see like this one's gonna get like the full color kind of treatment there, so really nice, and lots of high-end games. This one sort of spans like the NES, Super Nintendo, and Game Boy, so it's a little bit different, but the last one is the one that I'm most pumped about, and that is the Game and Atlas, sorry, NES Game Atlas. Kind of messed that up there, but you can see that right there, and I'll show you the back like the other ones, so you can see like all the titles, like huge heavy hitters on there, like ones that you'd really want to have maps for. And it's awesome inside. Like it shows, you know, every level layout in full color. Just beautiful the way they did this. Lots of really cool like artwork for each section for every game. So really nice. You can see like Mega Man levels, and oh man, so good. Just absolutely phenomenal magazine, and definitely worth it. All around to have this out. I had this out sort of like on my coffee table as a showpiece kind of thing. I'll probably just have them out, you know, as part of the game room kind of thing, but definitely cool to add to the library of, you know, game paraphernalia, like for as books and whatever goes. So that's everything I got for you this time around. Thanks again for watching. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. Feel free to thumbs up this video, comment down below, and I will see you all later.